Thank you for joining us on this webinar about the state of email marketing. Um, I am Frédéric Santerre, and I'm joined with Bruna here, that is a content strategist at Cyber Impact. I'm just gonna share my screen just a second. There you go. All right. Perfect. Present. Every time it's a bit stressful to
The
do.
basics of doing any kind of webinar.
Yeah, Bruna, can you help me? Can we see the presentation now?
Yes, we see the presentation. We're still not live on LinkedIn though, but I'm sharing with everyone. If you're joining us from Riverside, welcome, you're here. If not, if you're joining us from LinkedIn, welcome as well. Just give us a couple of seconds so we can share this with everyone, make sure that everyone's here. Mm, Give me 1 second so I find the live stream link so everyone can join us. Do you have it easier there, Fred? The for people to join
Sorry?
us here.
I didn't
Well,
get that, sorry.
okay. Well, let's get started. Introduce a little bit of what you do at Cyber Impact, and then I'll introduce myself, and we can jump into the content of today because we have 30 minutes to present a really cool report with a lot of statistics. So we have a lot to get through.
Perfect. So yes, I'm Frédéric Santerre. I'm the director of customer success here at Cyber Impact. I just make sure the customers are having success with their marketing or their email marketing, actually. What about you, Bruna?
So I am the content marketing specialist here at Cyber Impact. If you've ever seen our social media, you might have seen me in the videos. I'm usually the person who's in front of the camera talking about all the ways you can use email marketing to boost your business and improve your strategy to get more results. And today we're talking about the state of email marketing, which is a really cool report that we released for the past couple of years or so. Fred, you want to walk us through the agenda that we're doing because it's going to be full of information.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're just going to give you a lot of different statistics related to your email marketing. Uh, in the next slide, we're going to explain a bit where we got all of these statistics. But it's really nice because it's based on different industries and type of clients that we have. So you can really compare apples to apples based on the marketing that you do. After that, Bruna will have a couple of actionable items to optimize your strategy and your email marketing. And of course, we're going to finish with the Q&A session. We have a lot of different QR codes on the slide also, so if you want to download the State of Email Marketing document, go ahead, just scan the QR code, and you're going to be on the right page to do it.
Cool. Okay, so the first thing you need to know about this report is that we used data from our database of Cyber Impact users. So we have a variety of clients and users from different industries. The most important thing is that they're spread across Canada. So we're seeing them from all the way from Newfoundland to BC. All the territories and provinces are represented here. And they also come from a variety of levels of marketing. So we're talking about people using Cyber Impact from the director of marketing of a big company, a university, a hospital, all the way to the entrepreneur and small business owner who is the marketing person, the general manager, the HR, finance, accounting, the whole the many hats entrepreneurs and small businesses have to use. So we've represented information from all of them so you can have a better idea of what is the situation with email marketing in Canada. So when we move on to the next slide, Fred,
It's coming.
you
Perfect.
can see, yeah, it's okay. You can see that we have that represented here. This is the level of email marketing knowledge that our users have said they have. So this it's really important for us to work with small businesses and young marketers, entrepreneurs, and we know also that a lot of marketers dealing with small business, medium-sized businesses, they consider themselves beginners even though they have many, many years of experience. So you have to consider the different perspectives they will have on this because we have a lot of those businesses, we have 51% beginner marketing level. Just so you have an idea, if you dominate the entire email marketing platform in Cyber Impact, so if you can send emails, if you can do segmentation, if you can set up an automation, we already consider you at least intermediate in email marketing. Obviously, there's tiny details, there's an analytical side, there's a technical expertise you might need to know to review that data. But if you complete, for instance, the Cyber Impact Academy, where you learn how to use email marketing, uh, how to use Cyber Impact for your email marketing strategy, you're already an intermediate marketer. So just so you have an idea of this, a lot of people don't know what their level of email marketing will be. So if you feel like you're a beginner, it's okay. Yeah, as you can see, you're not alone. But if you feel like you're an advanced, we'll also share some data here, some benchmarks that will help you advance your strategy for this year because it's been definitely a year of a lot of changes in the scenario of marketing in Canada. Now, Fred, you want to take it away with some stats to begin with?
Yes, absolutely. The good part of this document is for sure all the statistics that we have and based on all the different industries also. So of course the open rate in email marketing is a big one. So in 2023 we had 42.06%, and last year in 2024 we had 41.92%. So that's a bit lower, not that much for sure, but it went down a bit. And on the right, you can see all the different industries. So you can compare, let's say, your company or the company of your clients to see in what industry they are. I underlined all the lower and the highest statistics in each of the tables that we have there on the next slide. So the highest open rate here is in the city here. So we have 66% open rate for the city. So let's say your city send you an email, for sure. Sometimes it's got to be a notification or an invitation to go, let's say to vote or stuff like that. So usually it's important, so people are more tend to open it. After that, we have the religion category that is at the lower end of the whole report. So for the open rate, people are not interested in opening this email. But there's a lot of different solutions that we have for you today. Bruna, go ahead if you want to share a couple of strategies that people can use.
Open rate is this kind of statistic that we have a love and hate relationship, and it's been kind of trickier the past couple of months, couple of years, because we have seen some changes in the way that the ESPs, which is the email service providers, and email apps have treated open rates. So a couple of tips on how you can improve yours, but also how you deal with this kind of situations. So the first thing, obviously, the subject line is the first impression that you have, that anybody has of your emails. So if you're not doing a great work with that, people are not going to open the emails. It doesn't matter if your content is great because they're not even going to see it. So if you're not spending a lot of effort, a lot of time, a lot of thinking, a lot of strategy on your subject line, all the rest of the work you do might not help. So do think about what drives people to click on those open rates. What kind of words really matter to them? And first things first, keep it about the people who are opening the emails. Keep it short, keep it clean. And when I mean clean, sometimes we overuse emojis, sometimes we overuse exclamation points, or we get very excited using capital letters. And just trying to keep it as human as possible. And I think that's a big theme that we're talking about in 2025 is even though we're using a lot of tools to help us better improve our copywriting and strategy, the human voice and human sounding characteristics of content is being very, very mentioned in a lot of events and a lot of conversations on the future of content marketing. One thing that we have been talking a lot about in Cyber Impact that we've been hearing a lot of people talk as well is personalization. So this goes beyond just using first name on the subject line. Obviously, it's a good practice. It's always nice when you feel like someone is actually talking to you and not just talking to a big group of people. But when you talk personalization, you can go beyond that. For instance, you can say, well, it's if you're doing products, let's say, oh, it's sunny outside. Join us for a sale because you know that the person you're sending this email to is in a region where it's sunny, where it's summer, or that kind of idea of knowing where the person are, what they like, what they care about, their situation, if they have dogs, if they have kids, that makes a lot of difference to make them feel connected to you. In that note, send your emails and campaigns to the right segments. Make sure that you segment your audience into groups that make sense for you strategically and that also make sense for them. How would you better classify or organize your customers, your community, and your audience? Sometimes it might be by their family structure, if they're single, if they have a partner, if they have kids, if they have dogs, cats, parrots, whatever that is.
That's a
Maybe
good
it's
one.
region. Yeah, what? It's all of you. Yeah, Fred classifies on all of these except single. But no parrots, right? Though.
Yeah, no parrots. That's the
No
one I
parrots.
was
Okay, not
looking for.
yet. But then you think about it, like Fred would care a lot more about ads when you're talking, let's say we're buying cars, we're both buying cars. He would care much more for a car that fits wife, dog, kids, all the stuff they bring when they go on a trip. While myself, I would only think about a smaller car for me and my partner, no dogs yet, no kids yet. So that difference might seem very obvious from our standpoint as marketers, but when you receive that email that fits exactly what you're looking for, I always say, you know, when you say something and your phone's nearby, and then you pick up your phone and you see the ad, that's who you want to be for your email marketing audience. That being said, also, you have to think of the timing. The more you know your audience, the better you understand their habits as well. Fred is a busy guy. He has a lot of stuff to do. He has kid, has wife, has work. He has F1 games to watch, F1 races to watch. So when does he pick up his phone to check emails? Is it early in the morning? Are you sending him emails Monday morning at 8 a.m.? Is that the best time for someone who's already so busy? And a lot of businesses use that time. It's a very crowded moment to send emails. Maybe also sending on the weekends is not the best time because he's going to be focused on his family. So try to find the habits that people have with the emails and connect that with your subject line. So if we have a long weekend coming up, send an email the week before or Tuesday, hey, prepping for the long weekend, here's some offers, here's some options. And then you remind them of something that's happening that is relevant for their life because they're excited about the long weekend. And you still get your way in to promote your business or your services. And the thing that it's not as fun and cute as everyone thinks, but it's very essential is to make sure that you authenticate your sending domains. This is the technical part that everyone thinks is boring, but it makes a lot of difference to make sure that your emails actually get to the inboxes. A lot of people will put a lot of work into emails. They will never see the broad daylight of their audience's inboxes. They'll go straight to spam. So use SPF, DKIM, DMARC to ensure that your emails are getting there. And this is all very easy to do. We have a lot of tutorials and informations on this. So don't forget to do the technical part, to do the fun part.
Yeah, that's a good one for sure. Okay, next we have the unsubscribe rate. So for sure, with everything that Bruna just said, you want people to stay on your email list and to gain new ones, but you don't want to lose so much of them also. So you need to do all of what Bruna just said to keep them aboard and receiving your emails. So here, the unsubscribe rate is just the rate at which you're gonna lose customers or subscribers. Um, a few slides later, we're going to see why they unsubscribe, but here is just the number. So the number across all industries is 0.26%. So here at the bottom, we have a little chart to show you what's good, what's medium, and what needs to be improved. And on the right, we have all the different statistics based on the industry. So again, the religion, we have a large unsubscribe rate. And in the e-commerce also, people sometimes are just signing up to get the rebates that they want. Let's say new client subscribe to a newsletter to get the rebate, and then they're gonna unsubscribe right after.
So I wanted to talk about this one a little bit, because why people unsubscribe is very interesting to me, and it's something that it feels kind of personal when people unsubscribe from your email list. But we have to think about behavior as well. Whenever you unsubscribe from a list, sometimes you see, hey, why are you unsubscribing? And this is what's being represented here. You can see more about this when you go to the QR code and download the entire State of Email Marketing. Sometimes people just click the first option. In the first option, more often than not, it will be no longer interested or never subscribed. And that affects this. So it's not always that people are no longer interested in the content. Well, maybe it is, but it's also the first option that they see. But it's very common to see that the no longer interest is the biggest, like almost half of the reason people unsubscribe. It's simply because the emails, and I say this with love, they're not that interesting for real. And that is not because you're not doing a good job as a marketer. That's not because the content is not good, but maybe because you don't have all the information about your audience and you're not speaking their language. That's what we were talking about with the open rates. A lot of people will give up opening an email or they will make it a spam just based on the open rate. That doesn't mean you're spam. That doesn't mean you're not doing a good job, but you're not connecting to the people. And if you're not connecting to them, yes, your email marketing strategy is not going to work. You're not going to get the results if you're not doing it for them. If you're doing it for yourself, not happening. It's very common to see the no longer interested as a big one, and more often than not, you need tiny adjustments to make sure that people will care about will care about the subject line, open the emails, and then dive into the content. Never subscribed is a category that is kind of tricky because if you actually have people that never subscribe to your newsletter, to your email list, that can be a CASL violation. That can mean you don't have authorization to send marketing emails to people. And in Canada, as Canadian businesses or as business that have deals with Canadian clients, CASL is the most important thing you have to, is the basis of your email marketing strategy. We have a lot of content on CASL. We have a guide on it as well. So you can find all of that on our website. But please make sure that you're following CASL. That means that you have clear and written express consent from your audience to send them emails. Yes, there is also implied consent. That is a little bit more detail. We'll talk about that in another event. And I just want to point out one thing on the 16% of people say that they receive too many emails. I think everybody here I think this could be a 100% because we all receive too many emails. But this might also be a little adjustment thing. Maybe you're sending emails on the busy time, Monday mornings. You're sending them on Friday afternoons when people are already done working. They're just running out the clock, cleaning out their inboxes. It's like, oh, I don't want to subscribe to this. I don't want to receive this email. Yes, I do receive too many emails because you're sending them an email at 4:30 p.m. on a Friday. So tiny adjustments can make a big difference on all of these options over here. So be mindful of where people are going with this. And we have a little pro tip that I really like and I've been seeing more people do, which is if people are not engaging with your emails, if they haven't opened, they haven't clicked for a while, do an automation sequence or send a campaign specifically to that group and say, hey, you haven't opened in a while, you haven't connected in a while. Do you want out? Are you too busy? Do you want out? And let them go, updating their profile, updating if they want to receive emails less frequently, if they want to stop, but give a specific reason so you actually know if it's because they're too busy, if it's because they do receive too many emails, if it's because they no longer need your product or your service. And then you know exactly why and you can adjust and doesn't fall into this half a pie, huge, broad categorization of no longer interest. So try that out. Is a great strategy for people who are looking to get more data on their unsubscriptions. Okay, that's still me. Sorry. Okay, how to reduce the unsubscribes? Like I said, you can help them to leave when they want to leave, so it's not just yeah, unsubscribe, bye. You can either give them an out with a clear objective, too many emails, too busy, whatever. You can offer them different things. You can offer exclusive content, you can offer gated content that it makes them want to stay. And this all relates to having clear segmentation and automation. When you have clear paths for different people with different needs, it's it's kind of like you're focusing on 2 to 5 people at a time. And it might seem counterintuitive when you have 5,000 contacts, 10,000, 20,000 contacts, but you're still working with that big amount of numbers, but it feels personal. It feels like a small group, and it makes them feel like they're part of a community. That being said, collecting feedback so you know where to put them, in which group, which segment, what kind of content to send to them is the biggest thing. I've been saying this. You need to know them. You need to know what they like, what they care, what they don't care about. For instance, I will never send Fred stuff for, I'm not going to say NASCAR because I do think you like NASCAR as well. I will never send you, oh my God, I don't know what I will send you because
Go
I know
ahead.
you daughter like so much. I will never send you bread things because as a person who doesn't eat gluten,
Yeah,
I'm
there.
never going to send you a bakery thing. It's like, why is it sending me? So Fred is going to ruin my open rate, my click rate. He's going to unsubscribe, and all my numbers are going to go down because I'm sending this guy who doesn't eat gluten bread. So this seems like a tiny thing, but you see how it makes a total difference? If you're a restaurant and you're sending people meat thing or bread thing and they're vegetarian, they're gluten free, that completely changes their experience. And then you don't have the data to know that it's not because your marketing is bad, it's because it's not targeted. So that goes all back to improving your content quality. You make better content when you know your audience better and you value their time. If they're giving you their email, that's already a big thing. They're giving you access to their personal space where they don't have ads, they don't have noise, anything. And then if you send them uninteresting things on that space, I feel attacked when I have an email that I definitely did not want to receive on my personal space, which is my nicely organized inbox. So, improved content quality is more about learning about your audience than actually spending 20 minutes figuring out if you say two or four in a sentence.
Good. Thank you for that, Bruna. A lot of good things to look at.
Yeah, and don't send Fred any bread, by the way. It's just a
Yeah, gluten-free bread is okay.
or
So
pizza.
depending on the bakery you send me, I might be about it. Next up, we have the average art bounce rate. So that's a bit of a negative one. For sure, you want to keep this the lower possible. So every time there's a problem with the email, so either the email doesn't exist or it doesn't work anymore because the person is not working at this organization today. Maybe she left a few months ago and now the email is not working. So for sure, you want to keep your list as clean as possible. Like Bruna said a couple of times already today, clean it as often as you can. Keep only the emails that you know you're gonna get in the inbox of the person. For sure, if like I said, if the person is not working there, you're never gonna sell something to them because they're not working. They're never gonna open your emails. They're never gonna click on it. So your stats are just going down and down and down. So the statistics across all the industry is 0.29%. So depending on what industry you're in, that can be a bit lower or higher than your rate. And on the right, we can see again all the different industries. The cities have the lowest rate, so 0.17%. And then after that, the insurance and finance has the biggest. So again, it might be because they're doing contest and they want new subscriber, but the subscriber are gonna unsubscribe really fast after subscribing, or they receive too many email from this organization, so they're just gonna unsubscribe for that.
Hard bounces, like Fred said, cleaning the list is usually the easiest solution for you. There's not a lot you can do other than cleaning your list and make sure that you have there, because when you have a list that there's contacts you don't use, it doesn't do you any good. Having a big list just for the sake of having it and not giving you results is the same thing as having 50,000 social media followers, but your engagement levels are like 5 likes per post. It lowers your morale and doesn't give you the results. So
That's a
the
good one.
best it's a good comparison, right? Like, oh, I have 50,000 followers on social media. And then like you go live, it's like one person. Like, oh, okay. And it's your mom, you know?
Uh,
And how you can do this, hard bounces also really happen when people do fake emails. If you do contests or promotions, people will make up any kind of email, or maybe they have a typo. So when you do double opt-in, which is the process of when people sign up, they'll receive an email, they'll confirm that they want to receive emails. That will help you stay compliant with Castle. At the same time, they will help you avoid hard bounces. When you also have the authentication that we talked about, which is the non-cute, fun, cool part of email marketing, but very essential. Everything it's runs smoother and easier, and you don't have to worry about technical stuff anymore once you have all of that figured out from the beginning. So if you're just joining Cyber Impact with a free account, if you're just starting your email marketing strategy, that is one of the first things that we ask you to do, so you don't have to worry about that anymore. So it's very simple. This is a very simple slide because it's very simple to keep hard bounds away from your list.
Absolutely. Perfect. Next up, we have the average click rate. So that's kind of the main statistic that you should look at after the open rate. So for sure, if people open your email, then they click on it, you have a good chance of doing the action that you want them to do. So if it's to buy a product, to subscribe, or to buy tickets to an event, or just request a quote for any type of services that you might offer, that's the biggest one. So the average click rate is 3.48%. So of course, like we always say in the Academy, Bruna and Chloe are always talking about it. You need a call to action in your email. If you don't have any, for sure your click rate is going to be not good, because there's nothing to do. So if it's only text or only images with no links or anything, or they don't see that it's clickable, that's another thing. Because if you put nice image and everything, you want people, you add link on it, but people cannot know if it's clickable or not. Your click rate is going to be down, because people can't know really if they can click on it. Sorry. So again, we have all the different industries there. It's not underlined, but let's look. I think the lowest must be e-commerce at 0.5%.
Yeah.
For sure, we get a lot of email from e-commerce businesses. So that's maybe
Yeah.
why it's so down.
You have to think about volume. Like e-commerce is one of the industries that send the most emails. So when you compare the amount of emails that e-commerce will send compared to like medical or maybe, I don't know, real estate, when how often you buy a house or you move, you rent a new place. So compare that with e-commerce, how often you buy things or you're offered to buy things. It's more of a volume kind of thing sometimes than actually effectiveness of CTAs and their actual marketing copy.
Yeah, absolutely. So just looking at the stats, the highest is probably here other, which doesn't tell us more. But let's say the next one would be natural resources, which is 6.79%. So usually when you're subscribing to a newsletter about that, people are involved and they want to get this information. So we have a lot of clients in this field in the government organization. So that's one of the biggest clicked email campaigns.
It's really interesting. Cities has a really high click rate as well, and you can see sometimes this will include community centers, neighborhood news, city news, anyway, and you can see that people are getting informed by this. So people really want to know if there's events happening in the city, if there's like new classes for their kids in community centers, if there's new anything available, a community event, I don't know, summer's coming, what parks are having the flowers, what do you call the flowers? The pretty trees with the flowers. So all these news, and you can see how in each industry there's a vibe for why they're being open or not. So e-commerce has a big volume, their click rate's gonna go down, but maybe cities will send way less email. But when they do, it's really relevant content to those people who are receiving them because it's news about where they live, what they do. Maybe it's a new trash day that changed, the trash route changed. So the relationship that people have with the industry and your business really impacts your click rate.
Perfect. So after that, we're going to talk really briefly about the different way of calculating the statistics. At Cyber Impact, we calculate it with the click-through rate, which is kind of a more comprehensive statistics because we look at all the email that were sent and then delivered actually to the inbox, and then we divide it by the number of clicks. As for other competitors of ours, which we're not going to name anyone, but other ones, they're just comparing the open emails and dividing that by the number of clicks. So it gives a different statistics. Ours is more comprehensive, so you can just look at one statistics and have an overview of all your campaign. As for the other ones, it's more about evaluating the quality of the content. So, but you can also do this calculation really quickly in the statistics on the campaigns of Cyber Impact.
Yeah, both have their benefits of knowing the broader number or close number. It really depends on your KPIs and what you're looking to get out of that. So how do you increase clicks? How do you increase your click-through rate specifically? 5 points that are maybe you've heard about them, but really think about how they will work when you combine with all the other stats that we've joined here. So you need to have a clear CTA, like Fred said. You have to have CTAs, plural. Don't only add one button. And I'm not saying that you need to point the person to five different places on your email. I personally advise everyone to have one place you're sending people to, but you share that CTA multiple times during that email, that campaign. So sometimes you have the state of email marketing, download the guide, not the guide, download the guide. Later on in a different paragraph, when you're discussing some of the stats, you'll have get more stats. The other time, if it's something gated, let's say, learn more about this offer. And so you have different wording for each one of these. This will also help you understand what kind of words relate to your audience, what they care about. If it's more of a doing want something for free, so like download the free guide, maybe that had more clicks. So maybe what interests them is the fact that it's free. If it's get the offer, maybe they don't care if there's going to be a price or not, if it's not clear, but they're excited about what you have to promote. So it's kind of a nitty evaluation of it all, but I would recommend you trying different CTAs in several campaigns and then do analysis and then, okay, this is the one that got the most clicks. Nice. Like I said, limit the purpose. Download the email promoting the state of email marketing. It's promoting the state of email marketing. We are not sharing a bunch of other things that's happening. The goal is that you download it and you have this report that will help you develop your email strategy. That is it. Don't overcomplicate it. You can always send another email at another time. Third thing is to create a sense of urgency or exclusivity. So if it's something that is limited time, if it's time sensitive, make sure that you also highlight this so people remember. Sometimes people will use the little Gmail clock thing that will push the email to be received at another moment. So then they don't know how long they have to open, to download, to buy. They're just going to miss because they have to organize their schedule. So you can use numbers to create that sense of urgency. So if the offer is only for the first 100 to download, if it's until midnight, if it's until Friday, if you only have 24 hours left, using numbers is always a great way to catch someone's attention and create that sense of, oh, I need to act now before I lose this. And that will connect with segmentation and personalize your messaging. So The way you promote something, let's say to Fred, would be different than the way you promote it to me. If you're promoting a car, you would say for him, let's spacious and fits your entire family. For me, it would be budget friendly and compact because it's not easy to find where to park in Montreal. So the kind of it's the same campaign sometimes, or it's the same product you're selling, but you're selling it to different people. I don't know how to be spacious and compact at the same time, but you get my idea. But then your final tip that I have for you for increasing your click-through rate is writing the engaging content that makes people click. And oh, what is the engaging content? That depends on your audience. So they want to watch a video, if they want to join a webinar, if they want to read more, how they consume content, the format that they like also has an impact here. So you have to know about them. You have to know how much time they have to consume content. If they have 30 minutes to join a lunch and learn, if they don't have that time, if they just want to skim a text, how you're delivering this and how you're making sure that they know what is available will help increase your click-through rate. If they just click like, hey, learn about this, it's like, okay, but how am I going to learn? Am I going to read something? Am I going to watch a video? Am I going to commit to a 3-day conference in Tampa, Florida? For Be clear, be concise, but be always clear of what they're going to get if they open the email and if they click on your CTA.
Perfect. After that, another cool statistics to know is really when the emails are being sent. So based on a lot of different clients that we have all the different days. And the Thursday for the last few years have been the days that everybody sends their email because it's just before the weekend, but it's not at the beginning of the week when everybody's busy. So we have a lot of different emails that are sent there. It always depends on the industry for sure. So if it's for an event for sure, let's say the event is Tuesday, you're gonna send your email on Monday or Tuesday morning. But it always depends. But that's when people are getting the most emails. So maybe you can look at this and try to work against all the other people that are sending them email to send them. Let's say if it's for an event on Sunday, you can send it Saturday because they don't get that much email this day. After that, we have the monthly volume of emails that are sent for each month. So pretty much the same thing as the last slide, but this is for the whole year. Of course, in the Q4, so at the end of the year, this is when people are sending the most emails. So if you just look at the Black Friday and the Boxing Day and everything, Christmas that is coming up in Canada, it's for sure it's big. Yeah, depending for sure all across the world, it may be not as big, but here in America and in Canada especially, it's big. So
It's interesting for you to think about also, like when you have international business, you're working with multiple time zones, or if you're working with different countries, you have to think of the seasons too. Like, yeah, definitely end of year is always busy because of the end of year sales and holidays and stuff. But you see, June, July, and August is when in here people take it off. You have more free time, whatever. But in this global south, it's different. That's not summer. Summer is at the end of the year. So if you're doing seasonal kind of emails, if you're trying to reach different audiences in different locations, consider this when you're planning for your year. Maybe June and July, because you see there's not a lot of emails. That's the time when you review your strategy. Maybe if you're working with different countries, that will be the time when you send the most emails. If you're prepping also for end of year, that is the time that you prep, because as you can see, the climb starting September is really high and it stays all high. So if you're planning the end of year emails on October, you're behind.
yeah, that's for sure. After that, we have another interesting statistics. These days, it's not as accurate as it was before, but there's a lot of people that are opening their emails on computers. Since the last 2 years, big companies like Apple's and Google, Yahoo, and everything added a lot of different systems to check the emails to make sure there's no spam links or buttons. So we have a lot of computers or servers that are opening the email, which make this statistic not as true as it could be. But it's always interesting to kind of see how many people opened it on their mobile.
And if you're working B2B, it's only natural that yes, people will most likely open it on the desktop because they're on the workday, they have the computer, they get a notification, they will open it unless they work a lot on the go and then they'll see. But it's definitely a big difference from the what we used to, it was way more balanced, right? The desktop to mobile, and now it's like mobile, it's 8%, but we know a lot of people still use mobile for email, and we always say optimize your emails for mobile because people are using it, but because of the new systems and yeah, systems and tools, whatever, it just became drastically different.
Technology is gonna evolve for sure, and we'll find a way to make it accurate again soon. So I don't know if we have question on the chat. I'm not sure it was working on LinkedIn.
Well, even if we don't have the questions here, you feel free to leave in the comments. You'll see the replay here on YouTube. If you're watching this straight from our newsletter, thank you for watching all the way through here. You can download the State of Email Marketing using this QR code, or we have it shared on all of our social platforms on our website. We're going to continue sharing it because all these stats are good benchmarks for every business in every industry to keep in mind when planning your next 9 months. Wait, no, how many? 7 months of 2025. Oh my God, we're in May. But thank you, Fred, for having me to help you talk about the State of Email Marketing 2025, and we'll see each other in other lunch and learns for sure.
Thank you guys. Have a good day.